I'm going to call this meeting to order. Good evening, and welcome to the Thursday, December 4th, 2025 meeting of the City of the Worcester Historical Commission. My name is Diane Long, and I'll be chairing tonight's meeting. Before we begin, I have a few brief announcements concerning how our meeting will proceed tonight. Tonight's meeting is a hybrid format, which means that attendees may participate in person here at City Hall or remotely. You may log in via computer by going to worcestermass.zoom.gov/J/160-487-3519, entering access code 160-487-3519 in the Zoom application, or by calling in at 1-669-254-5252 and entering access code 160-487-3519. To manage remote participation during our hybrid meetings and prevent disruptions, all participants are automatically blocked from unmuting themselves, turning on their video, or sending chat messages. For remote participants who would like to comment on an item on our agenda, we ask that you use the raise hand feature in Zoom during the discussion of that item. If you are joined by phone, you can raise your hand by pressing *9. Staff will then call on members of the public one at a time and give them permission to unmute themselves. If you are joined by phone, you will then be able to unmute yourself by pressing *6. This is a public meeting, which means both that it is being recorded and that minutes will be taken and published at a later date. To help with this process, we ask all speakers participating in person to use a microphone, to please clearly identify yourselves each time you speak, and the first time you speak, please state your city or town of residence for the record. To help maintain an orderly meeting, please address all comments and questions through the chair rather than directly to any of the other speakers or applicants. If you are here for an item that will be postponed or continued, please note that no additional notice will be sent to you before the next meeting. The best thing to do is to call the planning department the day prior to the next meeting to confirm if the item will be heard or postponed that night. Once an item is called, there will be a brief presentation of the item followed by any additional comments and clarifications from members of the city staff, then an opportunity for anyone from the public to speak on the item before we proceed to board discussion and action. Please also note that all approval votes will be by roll call tonight when the time comes. I will begin by taking a roll call of the commission staff and the city staff. Commissioner Thurman?
Here.
Commissioner Andre?
Here.
Commissioner Northway?
Here.
Commissioner Santos Restivo?
Here.
Commissioner Taylor?
Here.
Commissioner Gutierrez Lavoti?
Here.
Commissioner Long? Here. Michelle Johnstone?
Here.
Cameron Doyle?
Here.
And the first item on our agenda tonight is a request to withdraw for 106 Elm Street. So I will make a motion that the request to withdraw be approved for 106 Elm Street.
Second. So through you, Madam Chair, just one thing. It's a leave to withdraw without prejudice for the item. So on that motion, with the second, Commissioner Santos Restivo,
Yes.
Commissioner Andre,
Yes.
Commissioner Northway,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez Lavoti,
Yes.
Commissioner Thurman,
Yes.
Chair Long.
Yes. And on item 2, we have a request to continue to the January 8th meeting with a constructive grant deadline of January 23rd. I will make a motion for this to be approved for 258 Pleasant Street.
Second.
And on that motion, Commissioner Santos Restivo,
Yes.
Commissioner Andre,
Yes.
Commissioner Northway,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez Lavoti,
Yes.
Commissioner Thurman,
Yes.
Chair Long.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, moving on to old business. We have item number 3, which is 266 Webster Street. Is the partitioner here again?
Yes, I'm currently present. Hi, I'm Cyrus Bronsu of Worcester. I'm representing my aunt and uncle, Abigail and Dan, for this property.
Hi, thank you, and welcome back.
Thank you.
So I see in the new request that you are in agreement to use synthetic slate to replace this?
Yeah, so our two options that we received was synthetic slate and architectural shingles, both of which I went back and forth with. Two of them rather known commodities because of the importance of the property in Worcester. I spoke to two of the most reputable Worcester roofing companies in Pinkman Roofing and Freedom Roofing. They both did consultations, excuse me, consultations and viewed the house as well, all of which agreed that because kind of the integrity of the home, it was built originally in the 1800s, about 2,000 square feet, and the original slates is about 225 years old. After they assessed basically the leaking, they just said that it provides a safety risk, and we went over pricing as well. Basically, it's almost double on slate repairs and slate replacement. If we're looking estimated costs, per square, it's over 1,000. And we're looking at, for structural plus permits and warranty on a slate roof, if we did the full one, it's anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000. I look at the same numbers. It's at most, I spoke to both, and with the respective quotes, I got anywhere from 12 to 24,000 for that same thing if you're using architectural synthetic slate shingles, and if you're using architectural shingles, which they proposed, it would be anywhere from 8,000 to 15,000. That's including all warranties, and those would be asphalt. They did code, and they basically gave me an entire brochure of code and compliance, long-term preservation. You still keep the integrity of the historic home as well. Essentially, it wouldn't be erasing no history, and it's kind of just more of like the safety and concerns of my aunt and uncle, because now obviously it's snowing, so you don't just get like the heavy kind of nuance of the snow, but you get the melt effect after. This was something they realized, I believe, back in October or August. It was when we had that big rainstorm in Worcester, and since then, that has been kind of their biggest concern as of right now. So yeah, after speaking to both companies, their proposal was architectural shingles. That was the original proposal, but they said synthetic slate shingles is also a compromise option as well. My aunt and uncle kind of been extremely busy, so I did give them the hardship waiver as well. However, they haven't got that back to me. So I'm just presenting kind of the tokens and which ways to go about it. But either way, they sliced it. Not only safety-wise, but also durability and affordability. You get a safer outcome if you either go with asphalt, architectural shingles, or if you go with synthetic. So,
Do you know if the synthetic slate shingles, if they have a color that's similar to what is on there currently to try to
replicate the same image? Yeah, so either way with both, that was kind of the next question both roofers wanted, at least, because they were asking what was the main kind of purpose or of the entire project. My home, also my aunt and uncle, it's not a color thing for them as well. It's not aesthetic or look. It's definitely a safety. So either way, if it's synthetic or if it was architectural, I'm almost positive this can be replicated. But I'll first confirm that, of course, before making any changes.
Okay. It's unlikely that this slate roof is 200 and some odd years old, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. They just simply did it by the time, because they moved in January 2021. I proposed that there had to be, I couldn't find any permits for when there was any repairs.
Right.
So
So,
This
so
very,
through the chair, more than likely, so the house actually wasn't built in the 1800s, it was built in the 1700s. And more than likely, it was cedar shingles, and then at some point in the late 19th century, it got retrofitted with slate.
makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I was doing my due diligence to find like some type of like backing or like permits or anything, and of course, definitely just due to the timeline, it wasn't that. So based on everything here, I was like, there's no possible way it was a 200-year-old roof. So
Definitely not.
Right. I mean, obviously, we would be leaning more toward these synthetic slate than an asphalt shingle. Does anybody on the commission have questions
I
on
have
this
a-
project?
I have a quick question. I'm, I guess, just confused about the fact that they're saying that slate tiles aren't code compliant. Like, are you not able to install a new slate roof if you wanted to?
oh, no, of course. It's not that they're necessarily saying it's code compliant. Basically, they said replacing an old slate not only like involves like the steep climbing part, but like the brittle of kind of tearing each individual slate. Because versus shingles, depending on how many layers, all that would happen would simply be a scraping of each layer, replacing of any bad around wood. When it comes to slate, it's a much more like extensive process, and then they factored in because there's a leak, there could be like guaranteed rot, mold, or even essentially like there's a possibility depending on how bad the wood is underneath. They said there could be a collapse of it, like the roof could cave in basically through the attic completely, depending on how old the wood is as well. And of course, because I couldn't provide them any permits or like when there was a replacement, they said that would be a detriment to their company as well, because essentially if they start doing reparations on the roof, even if it was a slate repair, and the entire roof caves in, that could lead to a whole other complication, so.
Okay.
I don't feel we have enough information to go forward.
What would you like?
They say, he's saying things about, this is Commissioner Northway. I'm just
Okay.
questioning that you're providing the information about what you intend to do, what materials is your plan?
So if it was architectural shingles, which they propose, you'd get code compliant, dimensional asphalt. And then obviously it would mimic the same slate texture or color that's currently on the roof. If you get synthetic slate shingles, they're polymer or rubber kind of slate, similar to the historic aesthetic that you guys currently have.
But have you looked at having slate put in?
Yes, we have the,
Okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the original, what we looked at initially. But you would have to patch, it essentially would be a complete like redoing of the entire roof. Because when you go like simply just replacing like one square footage, whether it's 12 tiles, 10 tiles, or 8, that would be a detriment to the integrity of the entire roof. So we'd have to replace the entire thing. So either way, moving forward, whether it's a reparation of the slate, synthetic, or asphalt, the entire roof would have to be replaced. And that's including repairs to the chimney as well.
So through the chair, to the applicant, do you have any photographic representation of what the synthetic slate product that you sourced is going to look like?
No, they didn't give me, because essentially they were asking how, like, for me to propose and then come back with information. I was looking here for a continuation, not a final decision.
Okay, so you
because-
want a continuance today?
Yeah, once I just wanted to see, like, what was the plans moving forward, and then once I got kind of the clearance for you guys, I could come back with colors, and kind of the plan and see where we could, like, kind of find a way to progress or move forward. So if this is something that can, then I could definitely bring both materials and colors as well. I just didn't have that.
and you said that, is it your aunt and uncle? That they will also be filing for the financial hardship for the
Yeah,
difference in cost?
Yeah, I gave them that initial form after our first meeting. I asked them for it today. They said their hands are tied too, so I wasn't able to get that from them.
Okay. I'm sorry, I was under the impression that you wanted us to vote tonight, but if you don't, that's fine.
Okay.
We have approved synthetic slate in the past. Having the request for financial hardship does help,
Okay.
certainly with that. Thank you for getting the further quotes that we had asked for.
Yes.
And for now, I guess we can just continue. Do you want to continue just to the next meeting?
Yes, if that could happen, that would be great. Simply, I just have to get back to both roofers, and ask if they could provide like physical representation of what the final product, would look like. And, essentially, once I present that to you guys, and allow you guys to make a final decision.
Perfect, great.
So before we make this motion to continue, can I just ask, who's going to be at the next meeting on the 18th?
It
No,
can.
I'm sorry, not you, the commission members. Just
Oh,
because
okay.
we have one person that's leaving the commission, one person that wasn't here when it opened, and one person that's absent right now. So how many of you are going to be here at the next meeting? So so we'll have a quorum. So yeah, if December 18th works for you, we can continue to that date.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that works for me.
And it'll be a constructive grant deadline of January 9th.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, guys.
Yep, so they're just going to vote on that right now,
All right, so the next meeting is when?
December 18th.
December 18th with January 9th? All right, then I will make the motion to continue to 66 Webster Street to the December 18th meeting with a constructive grant deadline of January 9th.
Second.
Okay, and Commissioner Santos Restuva, you're not voting on this because you weren't here for the open. So Commissioner Andre?
Yes.
Commissioner Northway?
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez Levodi?
Yes.
Commissioner Thierman? Yes. Chair Long?
Yes.
Okay, so Cyrus, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you very much. All right, moving on to item number 4, we have 90 Main Street, which is the church doors. Hello and welcome back.
Hello, good evening. I'm the Reverend Sarah Stewart, the minister of First Unitarian Church at 90 Main Street, and this is Bob Shaw, a member of the church and an
And
architect.
just, yeah, and lead on this project.
Yes, yeah.
From the beginning, yes.
So we are before you to look for permission to replace the front doors of the church. The reason that we are replacing the doors of the church is safety. The current doors don't meet fire code. They don't provide a consistently reliable means of egress from the building in case of an emergency. They have to be manually opened and unlocked every time we use them. 200 people gather in our sanctuary every Sunday for worship. We expect 500 for Christmas Eve, and I think these folks deserve a safe way of getting out of the church. The current doors, as you can see in the bottom photos there, they don't have crash bars on them, and crash bars can't be installed on these doors. The doors are warped and cannot be repaired, and one pair of doors, I think it's the left-hand,
Court Street.
the Court Street, the right-hand photo can't be don't operate at all because they're too warped and the closing mechanism is broken. You have a letter from the lead contractor on this project, Chris Loring. And as he states in his letter, it's not feasible to replace the current doors the current doors are tall, but we can't replace them with tall doors because the emergency mechanisms that we need will be prone to failure if they're installed in tall doors, and the doors themselves will also be prone to failure and warping as we're experiencing now. So our proposal, if you go back to, I think it's might be the first photo. We want to install standard doors with a glass transom above. Actually, could you go, the photo that just, that showed all the different doors on the church. That's the proposal of what it might look like. And it will match the other exterior doors on the building. Bob provided some photos that,
Yes,
those, right
There.
there, yeah.
that's basically our other main entrances into the building, and they all have one thing in common. They have some sort of transom. Some of glass. We have the one off Court Street, which has a solid panel above the door. But, you know, none of the other doors in the building are 10-foot-4 high.
Yeah. The glass transom that we propose in, off the front entrance will allow more light into the interior church entranceway, which is its own room, the narthex of the church. That is used by parishioners who are gathering for worship, and it's also used by children who come to our summer camp every summer. So it will make that room more pleasant and usable by our members. But the main reason that we are pursuing this project is safety. Our church rebuilt after the 1939 hurricane and a fire in 2000. So we know all too well that old churches must be prepared for the worst. And we feel that our worshipers and community members deserve safe and reliable means of exit from the sanctuary.
And you plan to have this done before Christmas this year?
Oh, no.
Oh,
No, but Christmas will come around next year, and there will be another 500 people.
when you said Christmas, I was like, wow, that's really quick. Okay, so you've given us another option this time around, and that is to have solid panels above these 7-foot doors rather than the transoms.
Yes.
I think my hope the last time that we spoke was to save the doors, not necessarily deny you light into the space. It was just that, 10-foot, 2.5-inch solid wood doors are, worth saving.
I know
We
you
did
mentioned a
discuss-
salvage company, try to give it to a salvage company to recycle them, we could do that.
Have you contacted Preservation Worcester at all?
Not yet, no.
Okay. They might be able to help you with a good salvage
Okay.
company for the doors. How does the commission feel about the light transom versus the solid wood?
Well, I was hoping for actually a historic preservation person who actually does work on doors to weigh in, which I see the letter from your contractor. I went and looked at their website. As far as I can tell, they don't do historic preservation work. I was looking for someone with some expertise in historic preservation who would potentially do it. The fact that your contractor can't do it is not a surprise. That doesn't seem to be in there. That's something they do. So I'm rather disappointed that I still haven't heard an opinion from a, qualified historic preservationist who does this sort of work.
I have a quick question. Are these the original doors, or how old are these doors?
Well, 1939,
1939.
at
Okay.
least. We don't know if the ones were saved from before the hurricane of 38 and reused again, but we know they date back to, 1939.
Thank you.
The destruction of the sanctuary was pretty complete.
Yes, but, and pictures of the front of the church, the doors seem to survive, but I don't know if they actually saved those doors and reused them or not, but.
And I haven't heard any thoughts about the light transom versus the solid wood? Anybody?
I think that changes the whole look of it. I understand you want to let light in, but it does not look at all like the originals.
And what about with the solid wood panel?
It looks better, it looks more like the original if the originals cannot be repaired and made safe and usable. But the glass, to me, is a no-go.
I agree. I think the solid, if I had to pick between those two, it would be the solid wood, but
I have another question. Do you have any drawings of what the original doors looked like?
We do have original blueprints, and There's, front elevations, showing the doors, yeah, and that's basically what's, the pictures that we show of the doors now, those are, on the blueprints, yes.
And they were solid. Okay, I would think architecturally speaking, that transom is not anything that is out of the ordinary for a house, for a structure such as this. So, I mean, it's just, I would think, in my opinion, it's just an aesthetic thing. I would welcome transom, I don't have an opinion on either, because it's my favorite building in all of Worcester. I love it, so, and
These front doors now are kind of an oddball as compared to the other doors of the church, by not having a
So in-
transom.
So here are pictures of what a window transom versus a solid transom might look like.
it's not unheard of for old churches to have those over the doors. So, it's just, I mean, are we voting on
So through you, Madam Chair.
transom or?
You're voting on, really, the question is the demolition of the doors detrimental, given whatever the replacement material is going to be, is the decision that you need to make.
No, it's only the doors that are coming out, the new doors are going to fit right into the jambs of the existing doors, so we're only going that far, not touching anything else.
I several years ago, I had a house up on Laconia Road, and it's built in 1920, and the windows had lots of old original wood windows, and most of them didn't work. And when I called window guys, they would all come out and go, yeah, we'll put in replacement windows, and they would tell me about that, and I said, can you fix them? And they'd say, oh, no, you can't fix windows like this. Until eventually I found the guy who's basically made his living fixing old windows. And he came in, and he ended up actually even being cheaper than replacement windows. But he came in and he took them apart, he put new weights on where the weights were needed, he put in new runners for it and fixed them, and they worked fantastic after it. But it took it was not easy to find that guy, and everybody else, all the window guys, told me it was impossible. I have that sense here that you haven't found a door guy.
The wood of the doors is warped. So these doors are not going to become operable. The one set of our doors doesn't work at all, and the others are not going to, the wood won't be unwarped.
Well, I
So
remain convinced
so
of that.
typically what you would do for a warped door is you would soak it, you would get it very, very, very humid, and you'd press it back into place, is the way that you would unwarp a door.
These doors are 2.5 inches thick too, so it's
Yeah, and I don't think anybody's saying it's going to be easy.
right.
There's the
you know.
consideration of putting the crash bars and the emergency exit equipment into tall doors.
Did you have a chance, I know Commissioner Northway at the last meeting mentioned there are several buildings in Worcester that have very tall 10-foot doors that have those crash bars, such as Mechanics Hall, they do. Did you have a chance to look at any existing doors?
I'm sorry, could you speak up, please?
So Commissioner Northway at the last meeting mentioned that there are several buildings in Worcester that do have those tall doors with the crash bars that are working, like Mechanics Hall. Did you have a chance to reach out or check any other existing buildings?
No, we didn't reach out at that point, no. It's just that the doors we have now, like we said, are warped, and, the closes don't work, and it doesn't meet code. So our, prime concern is to provide, egress that's, in case of a fire. And I think by, trying to save these doors, we're gonna have to take them out, have to ship them out, and what we're gonna use in their place while they're out. That's an issue there too. The way, we're doing it now is they can take one opening and work on it and, put a new doors and transom panels of whatever sort in the place, and as the other two doors are remaining. It's just a process that we talked about during this whole, project.
I don't think anyone, I mean, I'm not advocating for anything being unsafe, but just making sure that you've reached out to people that do historic preservation work to recognize, you know, are these doors salvageable? It may be something that Loring Construction hasn't worked with, and what I find is a lot of contractors are very eager to push new materials and new product rather than take the time to restore the old. I mean, I've experienced that with my own slate roof in another house. You know, everyone advocates for the easy road rather than, you know, what might be best in the long run from a preservation point of view. So I'm just asking, you know, have you reached out to preservation companies that may have more expertise in this than an average contractor?
Okay, I guess we'll have to do that.
Yeah, we have not done that, but we could.
I would have to advise that just listening to the commissioners, that if we take a vote tonight, it doesn't sound like it's going to be positive. If you'd like us to take a vote, we can. If you want to look into maybe a couple other options, maybe checking with, is it Mechanics Hall that has the crash bars on 10-foot doors? And doing a little more investigating.
I don't know that we can do that by the 18th, though.
Yeah, I forgot.
I personally speaking, I have other priorities as a minister.
Right, it's that
now.
time of year, yeah. Probably a month from now
Yeah.
would be, you know, better, yeah.
So a month from now, we have January 22nd. We also have a January 8th, if you wanted to go right after the new year.
What do you, it's about what you think the timeline's going to be to hear back from folks.
Well, I'll have to talk with like Preservation Worcester, and then if they mention Mechanics Hall being tall doors, you know, get a hold of them and see what their, what they went through, if there's anyone there that remembers that, so.
Let's try for the 8th. We can always ask
Okay.
you for another continuance if we need it.
Sure.
Oh, okay. So it'll be a constructive grant deadline of the 23rd of January.
23rd?
Yep.
Is that January 8th?
Yep.
All right, so for 90 Main Street, I will make a motion to continue to the January 8th meeting with a constructive grant deadline of January 23rd.
Second?
And on that motion, Commissioner Santos Restivo? Commissioner Andre?
Yes.
Commissioner Northway?
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez Lavoti?
Yes.
Commissioner Thierman?
Yes.
And Chair Long.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you very much. All right. Moving on to item number 5, we have new business, 9 View Street. And this is to replace some, I think, basement windows with some vinyl.
Good evening.
Hi.
So why don't you introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about your project?
Okay, I'm Wanda Malecki. I own the house. This is my daughter Irene. And we're going to be replacing the existing cellar windows in the basement.
Plus one on these.
Now, I understand most of the windows in this house are already, they've already been replaced with vinyl windows, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
These
So-
are the remaining ones that have not been replaced or have been touched.
Yeah, those,
And they're mainly the basement windows? I see that there are also a couple,
There's one in the back, and then there's two there should be two in the back, one on the first floor, one on the third floor. And then there's one on the side of the house on the second floor.
and those are regular windows that are in the apartments?
No, they're on the back porch,
On the porches?
yes. And then I guess we call them the shed, because there's like a little storage shed when you go up the back
Right.
porch.
Yep.
So, and
they usually put their dryers in there, which is why it has that little cutout right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And these will match the windows that are currently in the house?
yes,
Yeah, all the others?
yes.
Okay. Any questions on this project?
Is the dryer still going to be in that area where you'll still need a cutout for it, or?
If a tenant wants to put a dryer there,
Okay.
then, yeah. I mean, we would have a special, on the second floor, there's like a little special insert, so you're not cutting out a glass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of raising the window and then allowing you to put that insert
okay.
in. Yeah.
All right. I don't have any questions on this project. We can open it up to any public comment. Hearing none, I'll make a motion to close public comment.
Second.
And on the motion to close public comment, Commissioner Santos Restivo,
Yes.
Commissioner Andre,
Yes.
Commissioner Northway,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez Labode,
Yes.
Commissioner Thierman,
Yes.
Chair Long.
Yes. And may I have a motion for the windows at 9 View Street?
The commission finds that the proposed demolition at 9 View Street, consisting of replacing 2 windows in the back and 1 on the side, and the cellar windows with vinyl windows to match the existing replacement windows, would not be detrimental to the historical or architectural resources of the city of Worcester.
Seconded.
And on that motion, Commissioner Santos Restivo,
Yes.
Commissioner Andre,
Yes.
Commissioner Northway,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez Labode,
Yes.
Commissioner Thierman,
Yes.
Chair Long.
Yes.
Thank
All right,
you.
you're all set. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks.
All right, for the next business, we have 2 requests tonight for the determination of local historical significance, and this is for the new CPA funds that we have in the city of Worcester. I believe that Michelle is going to give us a quick refresher, since this is all new to us, to remind us what it is we're looking for to make this determination.
Sure. So I think, Kristen, were you here when we did these last time? No. I think everybody else was here, though. So Worcester is a Community Preservation Act community now. So we take a surcharge on people's real estate taxes every year, and we put it into a fund, and 10% of that money needs to go to historic preservation, 10% or more, and then an additional 10% needs to go to conservation and open space, and another 10% needs to go to affordable housing, and the rest is a pot for everybody to share. Is that correct, Diane? Yeah, Diane is on the committee, so, but, so that's basically kind of the structure of it. And the bulk of the applications that Community Preservation Committee has been getting have been historic resources. And that's the same this time as it was last time. So if a property is listed in the National Register already, in the National or State Register, it automatically can go to CPC to request funding. If a property is not in the National or State Register, they first have to come to you all to get a determination of local historical significance. So the way that we have modeled our determination process is basically after the National Register. So for each resource, you'll be looking at, if it's a building, you'll be looking at, does the building have architectural integrity? And does it meet one of 4 criteria, one or more of 4 criteria? So criterion A is generally if a resource contributes to broad patterns of our history, so if it's part of an important like planned neighborhood, or if it's, gosh, I don't know, an important tavern, it's really just kind of broad patterns of our history. Criterion B is if it is associated with the life of somebody truly objectively important. So like where an author wrote their masterpiece of a novel, or Robert Goddard, where he had his epiphany for space travel at his home. So those are some examples of B. Criterion C is association with the work of a master or an architectural style. So like a really great example of a Greek Revival style house, or an awesome example of an architect's work, it would be criterion C. And then criterion D is the ability of a resource to yield information pertinent to history or prehistory. So what that means is there a chance that there's archaeological resources underneath the building? So on that site, might we yield information that we didn't already know if we went in and like dug test pits for archaeology? Or also, if it's an older house, could dendrochronology reveal anything? Or could anything be gleaned from the method in which a building was constructed? So it's more of those like abstract things, and you won't find that as much. So those are the 4 criteria. So a building would need to meet one or more of those 4, and then also retain architectural integrity. And then for non-buildings, it's a little bit looser. So like in the last round, we looked at jail records. So you kind of have to look at it and determine whether or not it's significant based on its own merit. You can't really assign criteria like you can to a building, but we haven't come up with a set of criteria for those types of resources yet. But tonight, you're only looking at buildings. Does anybody have any questions before we get started at looking at them? And do you have the motion? Okay. Just remember that when we're voting, we need to state the criteria under which we are finding it to be locally historically significant. So you can just give the letter if you want. A, B, C, D.
Okay.
All right. And just for everybody in the audience's edification, these aren't public hearings, so there'll be no speaking by the public, but you'll listen to what the commission has to say.
Okay.
All right, are we ready? Okay, let's begin with our first. We have 10 Lunell Street, and do we have the homeowner or applicant here? Hi, come join us. Yes.
So no public comment, but you can come up and take a seat.
Good evening. My name is Paul Rayom, and I am the resident of the house in number 10 Lunell Street.
My name is Patricia Hobbs. I'm the president of the Green Island Residents Group, and we've been supportive of his program.
Okay. And you're looking to find this significant for the CPA funds to help with some restoration of the house?
Yes.
Okay. I did read through did everybody have a chance to read through the application?
Yeah.
And so we're probably looking at wait, broad patterns of local history or architecture. For the architecture, the integrity of the building would need to have been maintained from its original materials, and I suppose it retains the same look. The porch does seem to have some of the elements remaining, is that correct?
Yeah.
Brackets.
The brackets, it mentions that around the windows, Well, I think I see, okay. From a distance, it looks like the trim around the windows has actually been removed, but it's there, it's just lighter colored, is that correct?
Yes.
So, through you, Madam Chair, if I had to guess, looking at it, I think it probably had more prominent lintels and sills at one point.
Yeah.
But it looks like the actual window surrounds remain, but the more decorative fabric appears to have been removed at some point.
So the brackets, the window surrounds, the roof is not new, the windows are not new, the siding's not new, the door's not new. So we have the basic shape, some trim around the windows, and the brackets on the porch. Comments, thoughts from the commission? I mean, would this qualify to register for the registry?
I don't think so. I think it's lost too much of its architectural integrity, unless it's hiding underneath the siding somewhere, but I don't know.
But I certainly find it to be, a fascinating piece of remaining history. And I actually used to go to the corner lunch fairly often for breakfast, and I always wondered what it was, like why it was there by itself. So I am thankful for having learned this about it. And I think it is a really interesting bit of history.
I agree. I mean, it's the only house left,
Yeah.
right?
That's true.
But that alone is not sufficient, correct? Is that my understanding, that just being part of the history, it still needs to have the architectural integrity in addition to being part of the history?
Right.
So, I mean, to me, the history part's easy. That's the slam dunk. The architectural integrity part is.
Well, I mean, if you're saying that the history is a slam dunk, couldn't that qualify under A?
No, so the question is, does it meet one or more of the four criteria, and
And have
does it
integrity.
retain integrity?
Right. So is there enough architectural integrity simply with the shape, the brackets, and the window trim?
Oh, are they still there?
So I have a question. I read that it says the original wood clapboard siding has been covered with asphalt sheet siding, so it's still there underneath?
I'm sorry, I can't understand a word you're saying.
I'm sorry. The original wood clapboards,
Yes.
it says they're underneath the asphalt sheet siding.
No, they are not.
Okay.
No, you can
When we
you can
had the
see.
house insulated about 20 years ago, as you can see, it's just, they put down the black paper, and then they put the siding up over it. My father told me that when they bought the house, the siding on it was in such poor shape, they just tore it all off, and they put this asphalt material up. And they went through all around the house. And when they insulated it about 10, 15 years ago, this is the damage that was done to the siding. And I've tried to put it back, but some of the stuff, there's no solid material underneath the shingle. It's just the tar paper and maybe a plastic sheet, and that's it. So it's trying to put a nail in, it would be like trying to put a nail in a piece of sponge and having it hold. So that's why a lot of the pieces of material are falling off.
Certainly trying to save this house would be nice.
It would, but the way it is, I can't see it going forward.
No.
Well,
Unfortunately, there isn't enough of the original home to warrant approval.
okay. Well, we still need a motion and a vote to decide if it, to decide a determination of local historical significance, 410 Lunell Street. I would guess under A and C, right? That's what we're asking?
Yeah. The commission finds that 10 Lunell Street is not locally historically significant in the areas of A and C for the purpose of application for Community Preservation Act funding.
Seconded.
And on that motion, Commissioner Andre,
Yes.
Commissioner Santos Restivo,
No.
Commissioner Northway,
No.
Commissioner Taylor.
Wait a second.
She did it in the negative, so she said it's not historically significant.
Did everybody?
Oh, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
I
Everybody
think
understand
might
that?
Not have been heard.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
We re-vote.
Yep. Do it in the positive and let's, do it in the positive.
In the positive?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. The commission finds that 10 Lunell Street is locally historically significant in the areas of A and C for the purpose of application for Community Preservation Act funding.
Seconded.
And on that motion, Commissioner Andre,
No.
Commissioner Santos Restivo,
Yes.
Commissioner Northway,
No.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez Lavoti,
Yes.
Commissioner Thierman,
No.
Chair Long.
Yes.
So it passed by one vote.
Thank
But
you.
it passed.
Diane was the tiebreaker. So,
Closest vote I've ever been part of here.
Yeah.
Same.
because it was yes, 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 and you were no. Yeah, so four yeses, 3 nos. So.
You
yep,
got it.
You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Good luck. Yeah. it's
Okay, then,
easier.
yeah, okay. I thought when she gave it to me originally, you had to say one or the other.
Right, and it made sense to
Well,
go
you're
with
gonna
the
be-
negative, but I knew that, you know,
Yeah,
that they
that's,
were
that.
negative.
Yeah, as soon as we started,
Yeah.
I was like, that's not right, okay. I'm gonna just cross that part
80
out.
Main Street.
I think
Okay,
the next one's easier.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. And moving on to the next request for determination of local historical significance, we have 880 Main Street. And we have, hi,
Hi, my name is Natalie Demers. I'm a resident of Worcester, and I'm a member of the Cultural Center Chrysohorophyton Alexander the Great, which is at 880 Main Street.
Can you repeat how you say that again?
Yeah, Chrysohorophyton.
Okay.
we don't have to repeat that, right?
Cultural
Okay.
Center is fine.
Okay. What are you're hoping for the CPA funds to,
We need to repair the roof, and because it is leaking right now, and also we want to restore some of the masonry. There's deterioration, and some of the bricks have gotten loose and fallen out over time.
okay, great. Any questions? I can't imagine that there's any doubt that this building could easily be on the register, so I don't have any questions.
I have a question how it's written up.
Okay,
So, under A, we're going with yes, and I see the letter C, yes, and then I see the letter B, yes.
It shouldn't be a B at the bottom, that's a typo. So what I did is I took the exact wording from the application, I just copy and pasted it in. In my opinion, it doesn't meet D. There's no archaeology. I see where you're going with your answer.
I don't,
Yeah.
trying my best. Once I heard you
okay.
speaking too, I'm better understanding the question.
I see where you were going with it, but in my opinion, it would meet under A and C. It's a good example of classical revival style architecture
Okay.
for one, and also it has associations not only with the cultural center and the Greek diaspora, but also with the religious community that came before it.
So easy. All right. If nobody has any questions on this, we can have a motion also for A and C, meeting the criteria.
The commission finds that 880 Main Street is historically significant in the areas of A and C for the purpose of application for Community Preservation Act funding.
Seconded.
And on that motion, Commissioner Andre,
Yes.
Commissioner Santos Restivo,
Yes.
Commissioner Northway,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez Lavoti,
Yes.
Commissioner Thierman,
Yes.
Chair Long.
Yes. Well, that one wasn't divided.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're going to hold the minutes until the next meeting. And I wanted to say we're losing one of our commission members tonight. It's Steve Taylor's last night. And we're going to miss you.
Why aren't you coming next week, next time?
I'm coming around the corner. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for serving.
For 4 years of service.
Yes.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and I will miss you guys. This,
We'll miss you.
I've, and it was nice to go out on a close one.
That's true.
I don't think in my 4 years I ever had a vote that's been that was
Right.
really close like that.
Yeah.
That was good. And I think it speaks highly to, because I feel like we can all hear differences in two
Yep.
sides and, you know, respect the people we voted differently from.
Right.
And that speaks to this body, I think.
Thank you.
I think you guys all do a great job, and you're all very respectful. So I'm glad to work with all of you, and I'll miss you, Steve.
Thank you.
As long as you invite us to your open house when you're all
Absolutely.
Very, yep.
All right. Well, let's hope, I'll adjourn the meeting first. All right, if there's nothing else, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.